Hey, it's me. I have this box. Inside, I have a bunch of my childhood artwork. And I'm gonna be looking through it and selecting a piece or two or three, and I'm gonna redo them as an adult. Or as much of an adult as I will be. I need some water. In one of my art things to do when you're bored videos, this was like one of the things that I did, but I kind of did a quick version because, you know, in those videos, I'm like focused on doing a lot of different things in one video. That was kind of a shallow swim. We're gonna do a deep dive. All right. I don't have any of like my really little kid artwork. My parents have all of that. In here, I have stuff mostly from like ages 10 and up. Mariah's random book. So random. The cringe is already affecting me. We've got some interesting creatures here. Yammy, Bug Crooked, Mr. Dung Dung. All right. Hey, yeah, get up now, get up now. That's not art. It might be kind of difficult to actually find me trying to make art because I actually didn't put a lot of effort into the art that I did make because every time I did, I was just like really disappointed. For some reason, I liked doing this. I would just write down words. Oh, more. What is that? Oranges plus orange juice plus cup equals orange juice. That's one brilliant mind. That's a Wade looking Sharpie. I went through this phase where I tried to replace the word weird with Wade. Like, oh, that's Wade. I don't know. It's so unfunny. It's almost kind of funny. Oh, that's lovely. That's charming. Okay, kind of looks like art a little bit. The colors in this look just like my sweatshirt. Why do I have a stain there? How did that happen? Anyway, look at that. Does that mean that it's meant to be? Possibly. There's something here. Okay, this is the first one I'm gonna choose. Let's go for it. Hello. Let's have a fabulous little art critique. This piece features a very wobbly and wavy rainbow background. I believe I was around 10 or 11 when I did this. Clearly, rainbow has been a long-lived obsession. Because I need it. Should have learned by now how to color in the lines. I was clearly still struggling with that. And they have faces. We got happy, goofy, nerdy, dead, or angry. Angry and dead. And that's me. I'm gonna redraw this in my current sketchbook, which I've only filled out like 3 pages of it. Shh, no judgment. Now, I'm not gonna recreate this exactly the way it is because then we would just end up with the same crappy artwork, just with adult dexterity. So I'm gonna try to like rework the composition. I'm pushing all the clouds together, and then I'm just gonna have a single rainbow behind them twirling around. No, that's stupid. Just curving around the page. No, that's ugly. You know what? I'm going to have the rainbow shooting through the clouds. New composition. I am gonna keep the faces on the clouds. There isn't that much going on in this drawing. We can't really spare any details here. All right, the sketch is complete. I'm gonna use my lovely Posca pens. By the way, I took the labels off of my Posca pens because I had a sponsored video a while ago and I needed to ditch all the logos. That's why my Poscas have been stripped naked.
Interesting stuff.
Let's get drainting. I do have a slightly unfair advantage against my 11-year-old self, aside from the 14 additional years of experience. I'm using paint pens. Just look at that. Look at this, look at that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. Just stop. We are gonna get such a better, bolder color than those nasty little markers that I was using before. So already we've made some big improvements to this drawing, but at the same time, let's set the bar kind of low. I have definitely improved my art skills, but they're still not great, okay? But that's okay, because my goal here is to enjoy making art. It's not about competing with other artists. Let's be honest, that's a battle I would not win. And I want to set myself up for success here, so I'm gonna compete with someone I think I have a chance against.
My 11-year-old self.
If I can't beat her, we've got some issues. Okay, oh, it's already looking so fresh, and those colors are on point. You know how I've complained about Posca pens not offering pastels? I finally found myself a set of pastel paint pens. I've never used these before, so... Oh. Okay, here's the pastel blue compared to the lightest blue Posca. Don't even think about pointing that one out, that's turquoise. So I'm gonna try these. They're a little translucent. Boo. Well, we're gonna have to work with it. I definitely did not enjoy using these paint pens as much as Posca's. There's very strong fumes that accompany them, so you get to enjoy that. Just get to die a little. so that's not super fun. Also, because they're oil-based, the paint takes a lot longer to dry, and it has a tendency to smudge the other colors. Ooh. I'm not in love with these. I'll say it again. Posca, please get pastel colors. Of course, I could just use regular paint. Anyway, I'm gonna keep the cartoony look. However, I did want to give them some sort of dimension and not just like, whoops. Touched my microphone. So I'm like using my different blues to kind of form a shape. Give them some body. Oh, she's curvy. I don't actually remember drawing the clouds and the rainbow, but I do remember drawing the faces because I did the clouds and the rainbow at some point, and then I remember even at the time I was like,
wow, that's really messy.
So I defaced it with faces. Honestly, good call. Where would this drawing be without the faces? Now this has to be my favorite part of the drawing. I decided to have the rainbow shooting through the clouds and then like exploding into bits of confetti. I just felt like this drawing needed some kind of action, and I couldn't resist putting a black outline around the clouds. Mini-Me didn't do that, but you know, she also made a lot of questionable choices. Finally, removing this extremely pointless piece of tape. I don't want to talk about it. Clean up, and we went from this to this. This honestly was a lot of fun, and I do like the result, you know, the final drawing. I think it's really cute. I probably never would have made this if it weren't for my past artwork. The block shading on the clouds definitely could have been better, but it's not enough for me to hate on. I think it's really cute. Oh, I already said that, didn't I? You basic fool. Moving on. Hi, we're back. I am going to switch out notebooks. Let's look through this one. I might have been like 13 or 14 when I did this one. There's really no excuse for how terrible anything in this notebook is. I was 14 when I did that. 14! I mean, I guess that's what happens when you don't practice. Did I make anything that was even remotely attractive? Peace. Shapes. Possum. Why? Possum. This is embarrassing. Nice, scraggly little cat. This doesn't count because I didn't draw it. Didn't draw that either. This is not giving me anything. My Wreck This journal. I did this in my late teenage years. I have a video that's still on my channel of me flipping through this. This was the first art-related video that I did. It all started here. Let me see if there's anything I can recreate in here. Oh boy. Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah, that's actually gum.
Wow, some really poorly drawn people. That's still a problem for me. This is kind of interesting. I think I can improve at least a little bit on this, and this is kind of a cool concept. I think I'm gonna go with this. Let's do it. Since this is a Wreck This journal page, it was obviously made to follow the prompt, which is draw lines with your pen or pencil, lick your finger and smear the lines. So what we're saying here is this page is just soaked in saliva. No, actually, I didn't lick anything. I just used water. I wanted a more dramatic smear, and I also thought it was pretty gross to just keep on licking my fingers. The obvious area of opportunity is this poor girl. Considering some of the other things that I saw in this book, she's actually not terrible. She does have some good qualities, from her snake eye to her noodle legs, the way her right foot perfectly hides behind her left so that I wouldn't have to draw it, the way her hands are just smudgy blobs so that I wouldn't have to draw them. Not to mention, she's wearing a brick. Let's move to the next page of my sketchbook, and I'm gonna create this in landscape orientation. Here we go. I am going to kind of crop her a little bit and zoom, make her a little bit bigger because I want to get some better details on her. We're gonna give her some actual hands. So let me get this statement out of the way. I'm not the best at drawing people.
And every time I draw a person in a video, I get those comments like,
you know, you should be doing anatomy studies and sketching every day for 30 minutes, and
I'm just like, I just don't want to. I know they're right. If I did all of those things, my drawing skills would definitely improve. I mean, if I feel like practicing, then I will. But I have zero interest in making art into a chore. It's always been something that's just fun, and I'm fine with just kind of improving naturally. I'm using some lovely watercolors here. You can definitely tell which colors I'm most interested in. Okay, let's paint her. As I said, this original drawing came from my Wreck This journal, the first art-related related thing on my channel. For some reason, Wreck This Journal was kind of the first time I started actually trying with my art, which is so backwards because the point of Wreck This Journal is to literally wreck the journal. It has nothing to do with creating art. But I don't know, maybe this book kind of took some of the pressure off. Oh, yeah, her skin, it's quite orange. I did try to adjust it and fix it up. I have problems creating decent looking skin tones. I always feel like there is just something weird. Don't you mean Wade? Like it's the wrong hue. Obviously this girl has a bit more detail than our original girl, but I did try to keep like her same look with the pink dress, the long brown hair. Once the watercolor was dry, I did go back over it with some colored pencils. I know I'm making fun of my old art a lot, but it's really just because roasting myself is one of my favorite hobbies. I haven't seen a therapist yet. I don't want to make anyone feel bad who is currently a beginner artist, no matter what your age is. It takes practice to improve. You're not just born with drawing skills. So it's not something to feel bad about if it's not the greatest right now. Just laugh it off and keep trying. Luckily, she didn't come out as scary as some of the other people I've drawn. For me, I think she's decent. I mean, it is a profile, which I feel like is much easier to draw than like a straight on. You only have to draw one side of the face, so you know, you don't have that pesky symmetry thing to worry about. So now I just have to do this colorful stripy background or rain. I don't know, what is this? What's falling from the sky? I'm just going crazy with it, adding tons of colorful stripes. This was pretty fun, and it was mindless and kind of satisfying. Oh, it's back, baby.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine? Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your...
All right, from this to this, that's a 9-year difference right there. Pretty big improvement, I would say. She did change directions. The new girl still does look a little bit orange, especially compared to that old drawing, but I never expected perfect. Overall, I think this looks good. Are we up for another one? We're gonna find one more in this book, so I'm gonna keep on going, flipping through and see what else I can find. Okay, collect dead bugs here are the instructions, and I didn't have a problem with putting chewed up gum in my book, but apparently I drew the line at putting dead bugs in my book. I decided to just draw them instead, and honestly, some of these, not gonna lie, are low-key kind of cute. Like this one. It's kind of cute. So I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, so somehow this drawing of bugs bleeding and literally dying is, in my opinion, the most well done of the ones that I've tried to recreate so far. Their little X eyes and the way their tongues stick out and how the blood is just dripping out of their wounds. That's actually not that cute. Also, I hate this one. He just makes me really uncomfortable. We can ignore him. I think we can have fun with this drawing. I'm gonna start by creating more of a setting. I want to create like the backstory, the reason for their death. So I drew a spider web. That way it'll look like all of these insects are trapped in the web, dying there.
Surprise!
She did it. I think there are a couple standouts here, namely this caterpillar. So I'll draw him here, even though, isn't it usually like winged insects that get caught in spider webs? Because don't they fly into it? Maybe he just fell off a tree branch and landed right there. You clumsy little boy.
Now you're dead.
Okay, next I'm gonna choose this little dude who is clearly cute. So let's just add him in there as well. And I want to do 3. So who else? I just now noticed this little chunky boy. I ended up choosing this random one. I did keep the same shapes and proportions as the originals. The main difference is going to be the coloring. Whoa, I'm dizzy. I'm using colored pencils for this one. I love how each of these drawings have been done in a different medium. That worked out nicely. I did use colored pencils originally, but poorly. This time, I'm hopefully gonna do a little bit of a better job with the shading. I am using the same color, but also adding some more color variation in there. I just really want these to like pop off the page. Kind of like his eyes. They're straining so hard that their eyes just kind of popped out, which is actually pretty gruesome. These are some fat bugs though, compared to this little web. I feel like they could have escaped. Let's not pretend like my art ever makes sense. Adding his legs. And I think this is looking pretty cool. On to the next. I have no idea what kind of bug or insect this one is. Look, I used no references for this. I just copied my past design
mind and then kind of made up the rest of it. I don't really care about actual insect anatomy today. Talk to me tomorrow and it'll definitely be my #1 priority.
Liar.
But today, I don't really care. Oh, and now I've used the words bug and insect interchangeably when they're not the same thing, but I always forget what the difference is. These are the things you learn in school and then just eventually forget about. The bottom of his body does look kind of weird.
Oh, that's Wade.
I couldn't picture what the underside of a bug looks like. Oh gosh, I have no idea how to draw wings. This is me trying. After I filmed this video, I did find more old artwork. I actually have a folder of like some loose drawings. There are some real gems in there, and just finishing up some of the details on him. Aw, who knew painful death could be so adorable? I'm not a psychopath. And finally this one, some type of beetle with the wings of a fly and the mouth of a mosquito. I don't know. I did try to draw these transparent wings over his body. I thought it was going to be really difficult, but it was actually a lot easier to draw something transparent when there's a background instead of these other ones where there's like nothing behind it. His eyes are definitely not even. One of them is bulging a lot harder than the other, which is kind of bugging me. Oh, the bug eyes on the bug are bugging me.
That's not funny.
The veins are a nice touch. Adding his little bug freckles and his legs, adding a nice glisten to his body. Now I'm just gonna work on finishing up the background. I'm adding some shadows and then sharpening up the web so you can see it a little bit better. And it's done. The before and after. I think the new version does look a lot cooler and more interesting. I did leave quite a few of them out, but I wanted to spend more time on them individually, so sometimes, you know, you gotta declutter in order to make the things you do have shine and look their best. Except when it comes to my squishy shelf. I need them all there. Anyway, this was a really fun video for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!